What's going on, Watch Party crew? Andrew here. Wanted to share with you an update from this past week. 2 weeks ago, I invited you guys to join the Watch Party, and you did, which I'm super pumped for. And like I said that I would be sharing with you a little video just talking about some of the updates that happened leading up to an event of speaking at something like TEDx. And a lot has happened over the span of the week. So just so you guys know, I have been working on getting a stage for this talk for the better part of a year. That being said, I really only started to work on the actual talk and the words itself about, I would say, 2 months ago. The stage gave me about 1.5 months to prepare. That was write the talk, make sure that the talk gets approved. So the way that the process operates is basically you have to apply to stages, you give them your ideas, you give them largely your talking points, and then if they think you're a credible person and they think that what you have to say is going to match their stage, then they accept you. And then the hard part starts. You have to create a talk, and creating the talk, you get anywhere from 10 to 18 minutes. And in that time, you really have to make sure that your message is very potent, because 18 minutes is not a lot of time. I'm the type of person who's accustomed to speaking for an hour in a row, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you only get 18 minutes to speak, right? Just so happens that my talk is actually 14 minutes. That's kind of the rough area that it's nailed in. But I'm really happy with that. Going through that process meant that I had to start practicing a talk without knowing if my script was approved, which was pretty crazy because there are a lot of people. There's actually supposed to be 5 of speakers so far who have got their talks approved. So I'm going to be the first one speaking on the first, which I did intentionally. I'm not the type of person who tends to wait. The longer I wait, just the more of a mess this becomes. So I want to set the stage right. I want to make sure that the message is incredibly intentional. But I was practicing all this time over the span of a month and a half, not knowing if my talk got approved. And 2 weeks ago, the talk was approved. They loved all the points. They said, don't change anything. This is great. And that was huge for me because it really helped when it came to memorizing things. Because I don't know how you can memorize a full 14 minutes and have all of the spaces, have all of the specific pauses that you're going to leave for people, of course, to catch up and to reflect and to think, and not miss anything. And that was my biggest paranoia, is I didn't want to miss anything, especially when I was doing this talk. But I also, too, didn't want to create a talk that was so long and drawn out and predictable where people lost touch and they were just like, this is a talk like everybody else. And I think you're going to find my talk is very different. A lot of people follow the frame, which is called the hero's journey. It's like there's a person, their life is okay. Then they hit this huge point of hardship. It's like a lot of the story of it being hard. They share the lessons they learned along the way. There's a come up because, of course, it's like, hey, now that I learned this, I'm better. And then at the end, it's like, here's what it is. And the hero journey is what they use in master classes. It's what they use in movies. It's a simple rinse and repeat effort that everyone kind of knows in showbiz. And the problem is it's boring and it's really predictable. I don't like it. I don't like when people talk like that because I can see where they're going with it. And that means that naturally I tune out. So my focus in building the talk was building one that people couldn't predict, that they didn't know where it was going, that was incredibly relatable, where through the entire process, they're saying to themselves, wow, that is totally me. I can see myself through this process. And a lot had to go into that in order for me to make that happen. So I have spent the better part of this week having a couple of select friends, a couple really great mentors and specific people listening to the talk. First was listening to the message, which I shared on Instagram and Facebook, making sure that the message that I was sharing was coming across in a way that people could understand, which I'm very confident of. And the second thing was making sure that when I'm speaking, all of the pauses, the body positioning is something that I feel very comfortable with, because practicing seated is a lot different than practicing this talk standing when you're looking out in front of a bunch of people. And so that's what I've been doing this week. I've been doing my talk in front of friends. I've been doing my talk in front of specific clients. I have Friday, which is going to be tomorrow. I'm doing this talk in front of a men's group that I'm a part of, as well as a couple key family members, to get myself accustomed to how I move my body when I'm talking. I'm not worried about the words. I'm not worried about feedback of the talk. I'm looking for the pause. I'm looking for that selection. I'm looking for dropping the point and seeing where it hits and where it lands. That's very important. And speaking is not normally like that. Normally when you speak at whatever tone you're speaking. It goes up, it goes down, but people follow it because it's conversational. Yeah, the talk is going to be really fun. It's definitely really different. It's challenged a lot of the ways that I consider speaking. It's challenged myself personally, just getting comfortable sharing my message and sharing my story, because I really don't share a lot of my story. And then it's been interesting going through this process, just seeing how other people navigate challenges. Like when I say I'm speaking on a TEDx stage, people are like, aren't you afraid? What made you do that? Are you going to make money from it? Why would you do it if you don't make any money? And it's like, all of these things are things that help you grow. And to me, growth is the reason why I took this on. It was out of my comfort zone. I already knew how to speak. I've done corporate master classes and seminars. I've hosted retreats. We did Lorna's Unstoppable Badass event. We're doing it again this year. Like, all of these things are things that I'm very accustomed to. But speaking on a very large stage where hundreds of millions of people are going to listen to this message is a completely different ballgame. It is a different level of intention with the words. It's showing up and saying to yourself, if this message is going to be on the TEDx platform for years, is this still going to be relevant 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Are people going to go back to it and say, when I watched that, this was something that really changed me? And that's really important, because that means that my message needs to be something that I really drive home. So I'm super excited to be able, of course, to share that with you. We are 1 week away, which is insane, but I am pumped. I thank you so much for, of course, you guys being a part of my watch party. And I am excited to continuously share the journey. And then I'm also going to drop in a little video, just a couple of clips of like where I practice, how I practice, little things like that. Just some funny stuff as well too, I'll send to you. But thank you guys so much for supporting me through this journey, and there will be more to come. See you later.